And I'd like to welcome you all to our Lunch Club Travel Edition, where today we'll be taking a trip to Sri Lanka. So I hope you all enjoy the session and learn something new, and stay on for a trivia at the end, where one of you all will win a ring, Masai jewelry from Lou. So I hope you all enjoy. And again, thanks so much for attending. Today we'll be covering where is Sri Lanka exactly, how to get there, some history, we'll be learning about their culture, some food, fun facts, and of course have our trivia at the end to see how much we've learned and what we'll learn in our trivia today. So first up, where is Sri Lanka? So actually, we usually take a look at the trip first and then the flights, but I think today I'll be showcasing the flights first because honestly, I don't have any idea on how to get there. But as you can see, this is DC and this is Sri Lanka. So if you look here on the map, where is this at? Where is this country, this green part? And you all can unmute yourself if you'd like. Where is this? Any ideas where this country may be around?
India.
Yep, India, right, Brenda? So again, we're going from DC to basically India, but we know we're not covering India today. So it's an island because that's our month is full of islands. So yes, we're gonna go basically to DC to India. So we're gonna see exactly how to get there. So just sharing, and especially information like this, you don't have to wonder anymore something. You can just literally Google it and you'll find some information. So if you go on Google, they have many different resources. So even something like flights or hotels, travel, rentals, etc. So I looked up this trip, a round trip from DC to Colombo, which is again in Sri Lanka. And you can see from the going trip from the 11th and then returning on the 18th, you can see that the cheapest or the best price, the cheapest is 902, but the best flights are here. And round trip about, $1,000. That's not too bad, right? So,
No.
yeah, so looking at the different flights, again, you can type in any place from any place to any time, and you can filter it if you'd like. But let's look at this trip right here, this very first one. I like it because it says one stop, so it looks pretty good, and it's $1,000. It looks like a good price. So we're going from Dulles International Airport to Zayed International Airport, or AUH. Does anybody know where Zayed International Airport is? Just want to take a gander. Does anyone know where that airport is?
Diane.
Never heard of it myself, so I was surprised.
No, never even heard of it.
No.
So you'll see in just a
Yeah,
second on the
7 hour
next
delay
slide.
over.
But look on, you'll see exactly where it's at. But look at this, 7 hour, 20-minute layover, and it says Abu Dhabi, AUH. So does anyone know where Abu Dhabi is? Again, you'll be surprised when you see the flight. So from Abu Dhabi, their airport AUH, it's a 4.5 hour flight to Colombo International Airport, so CMB. So again, it's two stops for this flight. So if you wanted to select that flight, you hit select flight, and you can see the returning flight as well. So again, you get to see the prices and such. I'm going to select this flight back. So it's going the way we came, and you can see the information here that comes up. So look, if different options to book, and I can see that with BYO Jet, never heard of them. It's $969. They must have a deal. But even look, it says WeGo, never heard of them either. It says $974. So again, those must have different deals. Flight Hub, I've heard of them before, but there are many other ones that you can book from. So this is a $969 is very low for economy. It's about $250 cheaper than usual for that particular time. So isn't that neat? So we're gonna again go from, let's see, Dulles International Airport that it said to Abu Dhabi, and then go to Colombo. So in our next slide, we're actually going to take the trip ourselves, as Lou usually does with us. So we're going to start from DAPL, 500 K Street, and we are going to go to, if I get rid of this, Dulles International Airport, and we know it's over here to the left, right here. So this is Dulles International Airport. If we're trying to go to India, what direction do we go? Any guesses?
South.
Okay, so if any other takers, and I'm just zooming out, we're in DC, and just looking at DC's right there. And just to
Where
remember,
is
we're going to India, right? So India, if I look right here,
We're going east.
east, right?
East. So you
Yeah, so DC to, and then we want to know where Abu Dhabi is. Abu Dhabi, again, we go from DC, we go across the Atlantic, I'm assuming, and Abu Dhabi is in the United Arab Emirates, the UAE. That's the capital of the UAE. So there's the airport area. Isn't that amazing? And then when we take our flight to Sri Lanka. So if we're going to India, again, zooming out, this is India, and looky here, here is Sri Lanka. Look at this island. Isn't that an unusual shape? If you look here, here's Colombo, so that's the capital of Sri Lanka. And if you just go around the border, we can see that there's different reserves, parks. And this is all just going onto Google and just going through different results and different options that they have, which is amazing. You can see the different islands right here. And look at that. If I hit search Google Maps, I can search for Sri Lanka and tap on it. And I can see more information about Sri Lanka right here. So a quick facts. Historically known as Ceylon, and officially the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, is an island country in South Asia. So I think someone in the chat said it's in South Asia, so you're 100% right. It lies in the Indian Ocean, southwest of the Bay of Bengal, separated from the Indian Peninsula by the Gulf of Mannar and the Palk Strait. So who knew, right? And if I go into Sri Lanka, look at this beautiful country with different reserves and parks. And look at that. Even if I go here, you see, even when we type in Sri Lanka, it highlights what's there. So I'm looking at these different islands. Look at this Delft Island, village stay, beachfront villa. What is this one? A temple. This is interesting in this area. And just looking through, wow. So again, with just our doing some research, we're able to look on how to get to Sri Lanka, where it is, and learning a little about it. So who knew, you all, right?
right.
I hope you all enjoyed that exploration and that travel. And finally, for this section, we have just some fun facts, some history, some all about Sri Lanka. So I really enjoyed the format that they have this website in. Again, just trying to switch things up with some videos, some information. So as you can see here, Sri Lanka has about 22 million inhabitants. The capital is Sri Jayward Inapura, referred to as Legislative. Name, Sri Lanka, previously called Ceylon or Serendip. We know the word serendipity, right? That just makes me think of that, right? Nickname, Pearl of the Indian Ocean. How cool, right? It's a presidential republic. Their languages are Sinhala and Tamil, never heard of those languages. And their religions, mainly Buddhists, 70%, which makes sense considering the vicinity, what's around it, right? But there's also Hindus, Muslims, and Catholics that live there. The currency is the Sri Lankan rupee. So, they use rupees in India. So there's the Sri Lankan rupee, which is equal to 100 cents. It was first settled in the 6th century BC, most probably by people from India. Various kingdoms ruled on the island from about 200 BC, Portuguese and Dutch settlers arrived here in the 16th and 17th century before the British arrived on the island. Wow. That's not the only time we've heard that story, right? In
The British are
1802,
everywhere.
yeah, Sri Lanka became a British crown colony. So they kind of succeeded in a way, but Sri Lanka was granted independence on February 4th, 1948, which is their Independence Day. So, wow, it's about 150 years before they gained their independence. Just looking at the timeline, that's a long time, right? They have their various national symbols, like the jackfruit is their national fruit. Didn't know that. Blue water lily, the wood tree, and a Ceylon jungle fowl is their national bird. They have an anthem called Mother of Sri Lanka, and their prime minister is Dinesh Gunawardena since 2022. So again, we're learned quite a bit so far, right? It's an island country in the Indian Ocean. It's located on the Asian continent in South Asia. And there's a land bridge between the island and India that existed until the 15th century when a cyclone broke the land bridge apart. Wow. It's mostly flat with some mountains in the central and southern parts. So again, looking at this map, they have some beautiful pictures right here. The largest city is Colombo with about 640,000 inhabitants, and it's the main business center of the country. So isn't that beautiful, this picture? Colombo and the Lotus Tower. Look at that tower, you all. Pretty unique, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. So there's different landmarks, attractions. There's their capital city right here. Nine Arches Bridge. Look at that beautiful nature, right? Golden Temple in Dambula. Lighthouse. Look at this. Look at the architecture, you all. The park. Again, I like these trees. Oops. Look at that. Fort on Lions Rock. There's a lot of great places here. While I went through their park, animals, they have a leopard. More than 125 mammal species live there, like Asian elephants, pangolin, or their Sri Lankan leopard. Who knew, right? Their people. Just going through, we'll learn more about this in some of the videos. But look at their language. Look how they describe it or present it. This Sinhala proverb describes close friendship. This means literally as close to each other as the bark is to the tree trunk. So you all got a proverb for today as well. Bark is to the tree trunk, right? A typical Sri Lankan tradition when greeting is meeting a person, you should put your hands together and say the phrase, Ayu Gowan, which means hello in much more formal way. With a glass of water or a drink when visitors come near home. Many different customs, traditions. Cricket is the most popular sport in Sri Lanka, but volleyball as well. There's lots of food. We'll learn more about the food there. This looks really good. Pitu, shredded or steamed rice dish. Looks really good. Economy. I thought this was interesting. Cinnamon is the inner bark of evergreen plants. Who knew that, right? And these are the resources that they had. So I'm actually going to copy this link and share it with you all, just so you all can read more. But any thoughts so far about Sri Lanka, about the flight, about the country itself? Anything that stuck out to you all so far?
Well, am I on mute?
Yeah, we can hear you, Geraldine.
The names, like the capital city, and the names are so long. That's what sticks out to me.
I know, right? They're definitely a tongue twister.
Yeah, tongue twisters. Oh.
But it's beautiful. It's a beautiful language. And I like how, looks to be very, very cultural there.
Right. Yeah.
And did you see the picture of the men? They were fishing and they're on stilts.
Yes, I think I pass by over
Yes, you
that.
passed by it. Yes.
I know I did in some way. Yes, fishermen on stilts. So
There
in
they
the
are.
southern
Yes.
coastal areas, you will see many unique things like stilt fishermen. Those fishermen stand on stilts from dawn to dusk to catch fish to sell. Can you imagine
Wow.
that's your way
Wow.
and way of living? Look at that.
Right.
But the stilts, I mean, just the way they're constructed, I mean, that's amazing. From
Yeah.
dusk till dawn, that's all day.
Ooh, that's amazing.
Right. So I hope you all enjoyed that website, that link. I put it in the chat for you all, and I appreciate the participation so far. Next up, we're going to learn about some history together about Sri Lanka by one of our favorite
Hold on, wait a
content
minute. Hold on.
creators. So I'm going to go ahead and start this video. Super quick history of Sri Lanka. Hope you enjoy and learn something new.
Hello everyone and welcome to... This is Asia, and here's Sri Lanka. Now let's take a peek, shall we? Shaped like a large teardrop dripping off the face of South Asia, the tropical nation of Sri Lanka has a very ancient and very fascinating story. The island's first known inhabitants were hunter-gatherers, who were followed many centuries later by the Sinhalese people from northern India, who spoke an Indo-Aryan language, and later Tamils from southern India, who spoke a Dravidian language.
What does that mean?
It means they spoke different languages.
Oh,
The earliest written accounts of Sri Lanka describe it as a place of spirits and snake people. Though the coordinates don't match, the island may have been the Lanka mentioned in the Sanskrit epic the Ramayana. Prince Rama's wife Sita is abducted by the demon king Ravana, and he sets out to get her back from the island, accompanied by the monkey god Hanuman. In the 3rd century, Buddhism was introduced, and is today the majority religion. From the Iron Age to the medieval era, Sri Lanka was ruled by the Anuradhapura kingdom, a hefty slice of time in which relic housing stupas were built, rice was grown, Buddhas were sculpted, pearls were dived for, and forts were built on top of big rocks. A fortress, huh? That must mean war. Yes, there was plenty of that. We can't all just get along and eat coconuts, can we? The kingdoms of southern India invaded Sri Lanka many times. Occasionally, Sri Lanka would invade them back, or fight and win on their home ground. India's Chola dynasty destroyed the Sri Lankan capital, and so the seat of governance shifted to another site. From here, Sri Lanka bloomed again under the great king Parakramabahu. That's a great name, and a great beard too. He fought and built and fought some more. And what happened? Years passed, and the kingdom declined, and others followed. Sinhalese power weakened markedly, though its leaders still lived well off the profits of commerce, trading cinnamon and spices with Arab merchants. Now, it was in the time of the northern Hindu Tamil kingdom of Jaffna that the Portuguese arrived. Since Sri Lanka is located in a good spot for trade, the Portuguese said, "Hey, this is located in a good spot for trade," though they probably said it in Portuguese. After gaining trading privileges, Portugal was invited to intervene in some royal political squabbles, and soon Portugal was asserting control over much of the island, which in those days the Europeans called Ceylon. Rulers such as this fellow arose to fight the Portuguese, but were beaten, and wars raged in which 4 Sri Lankan kingdoms would collapse. The only Sri Lankan state remaining was the Kingdom of Kandy, which allied with the Dutch against the Portuguese. The Dutch won, in which time they also became hostile to the Kandians. What happened was the Dutch took over Portugal's holdings in Ceylon and ruled a sort of insular ring, whilst Kandy remained landlocked in its own land. Then along came the British. After booting out the Dutch, Britain conquered the entire island. The subsequent rebellion was crushed, and Britain set about moulding the island according to its wishes, which began with starting up coffee plantations, and then moving on to tea and rubber, which raked in immense amounts of money. Many thousands of Tamils were brought in from India to work on the plantations. The British also brought industrialization with them, and the island's concerns, stresses and woes switched from feudal to modern ones. So the decades passed, and Sri Lankans resented foreign rule, and their dreams of independence assumed tangibility after World War II, in which conflict British forces received quite the pounding by Japanese aggression. In 1948, Sri Lanka gained independence, with D.S. Ananaik becoming the first Prime Minister, who maintained good relations with Britain, just as he maintained his tidy moustache. The left-wing 4th Prime Minister declared Sinhala to be the one and only official language of the land, angering the Tamils. He was shot dead by a Buddhist monk Lanka in 1959. The following year, his widow became the world's first female prime minister. Further leftist policies were pursued, and further division grew between the Sinhalese and the Tamils. Aggrieved by continual discrimination, the Tamils formed a militant separatist group, the Tamil Tigers, hoping to carve out their own state. The Sri Lankan Civil War engulfed the nation for a quarter of a century. Tens of thousands died before it ended in 2009, with the government victorious. 10 years later, the country suffered a serious economic crisis, and violent protests flared up that resulted in the Prime Minister fleeing the country and resigning. The country today faces a number of challenges, but has nevertheless attained a high level of human development, and we wish it well and all the best for the future. So that's it for Sri Lanka, and that's all from me for now. Bye-bye!
Wow. Any thoughts on the video, on their history? Any thoughts? And I know that was quite a lot, but any thoughts on the video?
I was thinking the British have been everywhere colonizing.
Right.
At the same
They've
thought.
been-
And the Portuguese.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
But
Yes, the Britons everywhere.
uh-huh.
But they still have been able to survive to this day with their
Yeah.
culture. So again, I hope that was also enlightening, and I really appreciate you all sharing. We're gonna go on to our culture, our food, our fun facts, traditions, all that good stuff. So again, let's learn a little bit more about Sri Lanka. So here are some best places to visit. This is actually a video from the Embassy of Sri Lanka. So I hope you enjoy and learn about a new place.
Aibuan. It is time to look at Sri Lanka from a totally different perspective, and it's going to be a different experience. Let's begin our journey from the first ever Kingdom of Sri Lanka, Anuradhapura. The ruins of Anuradhapura communicate to the entire world the unparalleled grandeur of a city which was once the center of Buddhist education and civilization. Even at present, in the vicinity of Abhayagiri Stupa, the vestiges are visible which have been used by the 5,000 bhikkhus. The mammoth size of these platters further establishes this fact. The gigantic elephant pond, which is the size of 5 Olympic standard pools, elaborates the humongous nature of the civilization. The largest stupa found here in Sri Lanka, the Jetavana is considered the tallest brick-made structure in the world. The next kingdom of Sri Lanka, Polonnaruwa, further boosts and carried forward the identical greatness prevailed earlier. The human-built tanks of Polonnaruwa simply come to terms with the gaze of some of the great oceans of the world. These symbolize the fact that the Sri Lankan civil society was purely based on the agrarian sector. The ingenuity of engineering knowledge, skill and craftsmanship of Sri Lankan ancient artists have produced wonders which have mesmerized the entire globe. When the throne was moved from Polonnaruwa to Sigiriya, It paved the way for an awe-inspiring kingdom. The water gardens with a breathtaking structure, border gardens which connects the entire Mother Nature, and the terrace garden which adds more glamour heightens the uniqueness of Sigiriya Fortress. Sigiriya frescoes, like the paintings of the Dambulla Cave Temple, formulate Dambulla Temple a World Heritage Site. The mastery of Sri Lankan ancient painters are very much evident via the Dambulla Cave Temple, which is bursted with great paintings. The last kingdom of the Sri Lankan ancestry, Kandy, is a living World Heritage Site. The Temple of Tooth Relic of Kandy is considered one of the most venerated sites for Buddhists the world over. The greatness of a nation always surfaces many challenges, and as a result, Sri Lanka was also subjected to many invasions, including the colonial powers. The remains of the colonial rule have also added value to the Sri Lankan culture and society, and the fortress of Galle is one such illustration. The marvels on the Sri Lankan soil were not only built by human, but by the nature have also made its contribution in resulting two more World Heritage Sites in Singaraja and the Central Hills. You have got the prospect of experiencing this wonderful Sri Lanka, and Mother Lanka truly believes that you will take the good message to the entire world. Ayubowan, may you live long.
Any thoughts on the video? It was some, again, beautiful places, right? In that area.
Yeah, the architecture is really intricate and beautiful, and the landscapes are breathtaking.
I definitely agree. I appreciate you sharing this, Jeanette. Anyone else? Any quick thoughts before we move on to our next set of videos? I just noticed the green water. That was interesting to me.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. It's very scenic, pretty.
Yes. The World Heritage Site they mentioned. Lots of history here in Sri Lanka. So
Yeah.
thank you all. Next up, we're going to watch two videos on some culture and some traditions in Sri Lanka. Hope you enjoy, and then we'll be able to talk about it after. This one is cultural diversity in Sri Lanka.
Ever wondered why Sri Lanka, a small island nation, is often referred to as the Pearl of the Indian Ocean? The answer lies not in its picturesque landscapes or its abundant wildlife, but rather in its rich and diverse culture. At the very core of Sri Lanka's cultural fabric is a profound spiritual heritage. Buddhism, followed by the majority of the population, serves as a beacon of wisdom and peace. It infuses the island with a sense of tranquility, teaching values of compassion, kindness, and mindfulness. The teachings of the Buddha resonate in the daily lives of Sri Lankans, shaping their outlook and interactions. Adding to this vibrant cultural mix is the Tamil community of Sri Lanka. Their traditions and customs enrich the island with a unique blend of color, music, and dance. Imagine being part of a traditional Tamil wedding, a grand spectacle of love and unity, where every ritual, every song, every dance step symbolizes a beautiful aspect of their heritage. Now, picture the Sinhalese community, the largest ethnic group on the island. Their culture is a kaleidoscope of vibrant festivals and captivating dance forms. The rhythmic movements of Kandyan dancers, the energetic beats of traditional drummers, it's a celebration of life itself, brimming with joy and vitality. But the cultural tapestry of Sri Lanka is not just confined to its inland communities. Along the island's coastline, you find communities with a deep-rooted connection to the sea. Fishing villages dot the landscape, their culture steeped in seafaring traditions. Here, the ebb and flow of the ocean dictate the rhythm of life, shaping traditions that have endured for generations. The urban centers of Sri Lanka are a testament to the island's cultural dynamism. A melting pot of religions and traditions, these bustling cities are where Buddhists, Hindus, Muslims, and Christians live in harmony, each enriching the other with their unique perspectives and traditions. In Sri Lanka, diversity is more than just a buzzword. It's the very essence of its national identity. This island nation, with its shared values of tolerance, respect, and unity, weaves a colorful tapestry of culture and heritage that's as vibrant as it is enduring. And it's this rich cultural diversity that makes Sri Lanka the true pearl of the Indian Ocean. As we journey through the vibrant tapestry of cultures in Sri Lanka, we are left in awe of the rich heritage, the diverse traditions, and the unity and diversity that defines this island nation. We've traversed the spiritual paths of Buddhism, celebrated with the Tamil and Sinhalese communities, sailed with the coastal communities, and felt the dynamism of urban centers. Each of these experiences is a thread in the vibrant tapestry that is Sri Lanka. But to truly appreciate the beauty of this tapestry, one must experience it firsthand. So come, immerse yourself in the vibrant tapestry of cultures that is Sri Lanka, the true pearl of the Indian Ocean.
any thoughts on the two videos, on culture, on the traditions? The first video, I saw the person walking on fire and those, those flame breathers, however you call them. Any thoughts on the videos? But I really like this one right here that showcased their tradition and their heritage, their values. That was so interesting, right?
Yes. And it's interesting how all of those religions or faith communities live harmoniously in Sri Lanka.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And it seems like they are peaceful people, peaceful
Yes.
and calm people.
They say the spirit of the Buddha radiates in the people.
Yeah,
That's why they're peaceful.
yeah. And they're
Love.
tolerant. They're tolerant of everybody.
Yes, the tapestry.
Right. And again, we learned just from the website that there are different religions, persons that practice different religions in that one place. So you kind of have to be tolerant, otherwise it would be chaos, right?
Yeah, I know it. I know it. Yeah, you're right.
And just because someone's a different religion doesn't mean you can't recognize, aspects that, you connect with, or, just be okay that there are other thoughts and other, practices in the world. So I really like this video.
And I think, I don't know if it's this video or another video, when they meet people, when they meet each other, they put their hands up and they greet them. I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they greet them and you always offer them something to drink, water or something, if they come to your home. So yeah, they're kind people.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's just so great to see, different resources, them saying the same thing and just seeing it firsthand. So
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you all so much. Next time we're gonna talk about some food, and unless anyone else had any reactions.
Alex.
Yes, hey, Mr. Ronald, would you like to share something?
Yes, isn't Sri Lanka one of those island countries that were severely affected by tsunamis before they got the warning system out in the Indian Ocean together?
I'm not sure. That's a good question. Definitely. Just look, it may have mentioned it in the video if you all had remembered, but I see here that there was a 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami. It was the worst natural disaster in the history of Indonesia, Sri Lanka, and Thailand.
Yeah. I thought I remember that somewhere in the back creases of my mind.
But it's rare. It says a total of 4 tidal waves classified as a tsunami since 1883 have killed 35,000 people in Sri Lanka. Tsunamis therefore occur only rarely here. So
who was that?
Yeah.
Who was that assassinated or killed the first elected official of Sri Lanka? I missed that part.
I kind of missed that myself, Mr. Ronalds. There's a ton of history, and there, especially with, they have quite beautiful names, but quite long names. So I would definitely revisit that video on YouTube. Just search a quick history of Sri Lanka if you want to catch that name. Okay.
Thanks, Alex.
No problem. Thanks so much for sharing. I appreciate it. I want everyone to share their thoughts and to hear how you feel and think of the videos.
I love the jewelry as well. The jewelry, beautiful jewelry.
Oh yeah, the gold, the statues. I mean, it just looks so luxurious and rich, and it looks well thought out and made. So we got to appreciate that as well. So thank you again. We're gonna next up we're gonna be spicing it up in Sri Lanka. So I'm not sure if any of you all have heard of Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
I've heard of the name, and I'm not too familiar with him, but I thought
Yeah,
this
I
video
know
was
about
quite
him.
interesting. It looks like he's on the travel channel. So hey, let's see what goes on in Sri Lanka with Anthony Bourdain. Was wow, wasn't that interesting, you all? I didn't breathe. I was just looking at the screen, looking at the food and the environment. What do you all think of that video?
I think that they feed you well. When I think of condiments, like he said, You
I
think of little
know.
things, but I mean, it was almost like a meal before they bring you the meal. That is fantastic. I
That
like that.
me too. I would love either platters.
Yeah,
It looks so good.
that looked delicious. I mean,
I know, right? Just
I know
wanted to go through the
that's more
screen.
food than that's more food than I eat in a week. All that food.
They had such a variety, and especially that spice mixture and just those little
Yeah,
tidbits. It was just so interesting to learn about, right?
they use a lot of spices.
Hmm.
But notice they said that because of the different spices, it had sparked wars between nations
Yeah.
because of the food. It's something.
You know, it's and that's definitely like around the world, especially like the Silk Road and other people definitely have thought about different fruits and veggies and produce and a lot of different things. So again, it must be something else. So I love it. Thank you all so much for that. We are running a little bit out of time. So let's see, we have two more videos. We're just going to go through this one with some symbols of Sri Lanka. Hope you enjoy and learn about some of their symbols. Okay.
Today we're going to talk about the national symbols of Sri Lanka. It is an island country in South Asia. It lies in the Indian Ocean. The National Day of Sri Lanka is celebrated annually on 4th of February to commemorate the country's political independence from British rule in 1948. It is a national holiday every year in Sri Lanka. It is celebrated all over the country through a flag-hoisting ceremony, dances, parades and performances. National anthem of the Sri Lanka is titled as Sri Lanka Matha. The anthem was written and composed by Ananda Samarakun in Sinhala language. It was originally titled as Naman Namo Matha. The Tamil version of it was given by M. Nanathambi in 1940. The national flag of Sri Lanka is also called the Sinha flag or lion flag, consists of a golden lion holding a sword in its right forepaw on a maroon background with 4 gold bosakred fig leaves, 1 in each corner. This is bordered by gold, and to its left are 2 vertical stripes of equal size in teal and orange, with the orange stripe closest to the lion. The lion and the maroon background represent the Sinhalese, while the saffron border and 4 bow leaves represent concepts of friendliness, compassion, joy and equanimity respectively. The stripes represent the country's 2 largest minorities, with the orange representing the Tamils living in Sri Lanka and the green stripe representing the Sri Lankan Muslims. The golden-yellow border represents the other minority communities of the country. National emblem of Sri Lanka features a gold lion passant in the center, holding a sword in its right forepaw, the same lion from the flag of Sri Lanka, on a maroon background surrounded by golden petals of a blue lotus. This is placed on top of a traditional grain vase that sprouts sheaves of rice grains that circle the border reflecting prosperity. The crest is the Dharma Chakra, symbolizing the country's foremost place for Buddhism and just rule. The supporters are traditional Sinhalese heraldic symbols for the sun and the moon. Sun, moon and lion depict Buddha. The national language of Sri Lanka is Sinhala. The official languages are Sinhala and Tamil. The capital of Sri Lanka is Jayawardenepura. It is a Colombo suburb. Whereas Colombo, which emerged as the main urban center during the British rule, remains the commercial, executive and judicial capital of Sri Lanka. The national currency of Sri Lanka is known as Sri Lankan rupee. It is symbolized by Rs or SLRs to distinguish it from other rupees. National dress of Sri Lanka is sari for women, which they wear with colorful jackets, and sarong for men, which is a long piece of cloth wrapped around the waist like a towel. It is worn with a shirt, which is optional because of the hot weather. On special occasions, men wear trousers and t-shirts. The national colors of Sri Lanka is red, green, orange and yellow. The red represents Sinhalese people, green the Muslim faith, orange Tamil ethnicity, and yellow stands for all the cultures in Sri Lanka. A national poet of Sri Lanka is Ananda Samarakun. He was born in 1911 and passed away in 1962. He was best known for writing the national anthem of Sri Lanka. National airline of Sri Lanka is Sri Lankan Airlines, formerly known as Air Lanka. It was launched in 1979. It is the flag carrier and the largest airline in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka National Museum is known by the name.
Again, I wish we could watch more of the video, but again, so interesting to learn about different symbols. And for our last video, we're going to watch some fun facts about Sri Lanka. I hope you enjoy and learn something new.
Sri Lanka is a beautiful island country with ancient roots. This often overlooked destination is filled with surprises that amaze not only those who visit, but even the locals have a lot to be proud of. In this episode, I'll be sharing 10 surprising and interesting facts about Sri Lanka. Hey guys, welcome back to FTD Facts. Leroy Kenton here. And now we get so many requests to feature new countries, and I'm really excited to feature Sri Lanka, finally. Okay, so let's begin. Let's jump into the facts. Starting at number 10, let's look at some of the other names of Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka actually has a couple of names or titles that it's referred to as. The first is the Pearl of the Indian Ocean. This is said to be used because of the incredible beauty of the country, as well as its biodiversity, which, by the way, is the highest in all of Asia, and also because one of its main exports is actually precious gemstones. Now, the second name, the Teardrop of India, which is probably more commonly used, this is due to the teardrop land shape and it being located off the coast of India. But guys, did you know that Sri Lanka was not always known as Sri Lanka? It was previously known as Ceylon, which is a transliteration of the word Ceylon. And that was the name of the country under Portuguese colonization. Now, the name was later standardized as Ceylon when the land became a British colony. And the name Ceylon, well, that's used for many of the famous teas as well as other products that are exported from Sri Lanka. Ceylon was the official name many years after it gained independence in the year 1948, but the name change happened in 1972. And that takes us to the current name. That year, the name was changed to Sri Lanka. But hey, what does that actually mean anyways, Sri Lanka? Well, let's break it down. Lanka was taken from the ancient name of the island, and it was combined with the term Sri, meaning resplendent. So Sri Lanka means resplendent island. I had to look this up though. I didn't know what resplendent means. It's the first time seeing it, but it actually means shining brilliantly. So the shining, brilliant island. Also, the name Sri Lanka is sometimes pronounced as Sri Lanka, and this was just because of a preference of a former prime minister in the pronunciation of the name. For fact number 7, Sri Lanka has topped the list as the largest exporter of cinnamon in the entire world.
So again, wishing we could watch the whole entire video, but ending on that, leader in cinnamon. So with the national symbols and fun facts, any final thoughts on these two videos before we move on to our trivia for today? But again, I hope you all enjoyed all of the videos and information for today's session. Any thoughts on these last two videos?
I was just kind of fascinated that the Portuguese and the Dutch and then the British had something to do with this poor little country. So it seems like it was a lot of things that were integrated in there, you know, food and whatever.
Right.
Different types of food, because some of the food was like Dutch related and some of it was like the Portuguese cooking, and then you got some stuff that looked like English food too. So that was kind of fascinating. And the lion. No, I didn't know the lion. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, sweetie. And it's how those who are in charge of the country, so to speak, that really determines the name of the countries and how it can change.
Right. No, it's changed from year to year, for various different reasons and their different pronunciations. So again, it's just amazing to see this country, for myself for the first time, and I hope you all have learned a lot. So thank you so much for participating so far. We're going to go ahead and do our trivia for today. So again, one of you all will win a Masai jewelry ring. So again, I hope you participate and win. If you'd like to answer one of the multiple choice questions, you must raise your hand in Zoom in order to answer those questions. So we'll take 3 persons for each multiple choice answer, and then we'll see what is the correct answer. So if you hit more at the top right and then raise hand, or if you hit reactions at the bottom and then tap on raise hand, that is how you can address your answer to me, and we can see who is in the running for a prize today. So I want everyone in Zoom to please raise their hand. So that way, again, if you would like to share your answer for that question, you must raise your hand to share your answer. So again, we have about 20 folks on. Appreciate that. Again, if you're ready for trivia, if you're excited, if you learned a lot today, please raise your hand in Zoom so we can, get ready for some trivia today. Okay. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. You all can hit lower to lower your hand. And we are actually kind of do this a little differently. I have an app that you can download on your iPad, but it's just on my computer for today. There are different chapter numbers for this app. So we're gonna do hopefully 5 of these questions. So we're gonna see what chapter number we're gonna look at and what question, and then we'll see what question you all will be answering. So first up, we have chapter number 15. Again, you can download this app on your iPad. It's called Culture of Sri Lanka. So we have number 16, so chapter number 16, and we have our question number. So each chapter has 3 questions. So we are going to answer question number 3 from chapter 16. So give me one moment. And I am going to pull up. One second, you all, so you can see the screen. There you go. So again, we're going to chapter number 16, question number 3. So which cultural practice in Sri Lanka demonstrates the influence of British colonization? So there's Vesic lantern competitions, cricket matches, traditional Kandyan weddings, or elephant processions. If you'd like to share your answer, I'll be taking the first 3 hands, and we'll see who is right. I just need your answer choice. So again, for question number 3, what is your answer? So we have Geraldine. What is your answer?
My answer is B, cricket matches.
Okay, thank you. Keep your hand up, Geraldine. Appreciate it. Yvonne, what do you say? What do you think the answer is?
Cricket matches, B, letter B.
Okay, keep your hand up. And then Miss Clement, what do you say? What do you think the answer is?
It's B, cricket.
Okay, all right. So let me go ahead and select letter B. Yep, show answers, letter B. And you all are correct. Cricket matches demonstrate the influence of British colonization. In Sri Lanka, cricket was introduced to the island by the British and it has become widely a popular sport, deeply ingrained in Sri Lankan culture and society. So good job, you all. So you're all in the running for a prize today. I'm gonna go back to our question number. So we have, let's see, remove number 16. Let's go to a new chapter. Let's see which one it is. I hope y'all like the format.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we're gonna go to chapter 2, and we are going to, let's see, chapter 2, question 2. Looks like it. Give me one second. So let's go to question number 2. Again, you can download this app on your iPad. You can go to the App Store. It's called Culture of Sri Lanka Exam if you want to learn more. Okay, so number 2 is which language is spoken primarily by the Tamil ethnic minority in Sri Lanka? Tamil, Sinhala, English, or Malayalam? And use Google is your friend. Again, which language is spoken primarily by the Tamil ethnic minority in Sri Lanka? Okay, Geraldine, what do you say? Okay, I have 3 hands. So again,
I say A, Tamil.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, Miss Clement, what do you say?
Sinhala, B.
Okay, thank you. Keep your hand up. And then we have Miss Brenda. What do you say?
Say A.
Okay, Tamil as well. So, okay. Keep your hands up. I appreciate that. All right, so let's do, let's select an answer. So we have majority A, so let's see if that's correct. Let me go to show answers. And it's A. So Geraldine and Brenda, good job. Tamil is spoken primarily by the Tamil ethnic minority in Sri Lanka. It is one of the official languages of the country and is also used in administration, education, and media in areas where Tamil-speaking communities are predominant. So good job, you all. Thank you. Our next question. Thank you all. Hope, again, you all like the format. Let's remove this chapter and let us see what chapter numbers for the next one. Number 18, okay. And we'll see which question in chapter 18 we're going to answer. It's looking like it's number 1. So chapter 18, question number 1. Let's go back here. Chapter 18, question number 1. What is the traditional Sri Lankan architectural feature characterized by a large overhanging roof supported by wooden columns? Walawa, wattle and daub, a veranda, or a mita medulla? What do you all think the answer is? Please raise your hand if you'd like to share. Again, what is the traditional Sri Lankan architectural feature? Any takers? Yeah, okay. We have 3 hands. So first up, Yvonne, what do you say?
I say letter A.
Okay, Walawa, let's see, thank you. Okay, Miss Brenda, what do you say?
Letter A.
Okay, you as well. And then Miss Wilda, what do you say? What do you think the answer is, Miss Wilda?
Okay, I'll go with the majority.
Okay, all right. So let's see what happens.
No, I think of veranda though, really.
So let's go with A and let's show our answers. And it is A. So good job, you all. Walawa. It's characterized by a large overhanging roof. It's called a walawa. Typically serves as a residence for aristocratic families and is known for its grandeur and elegance. So good job. 2 more. Okay, let me go ahead and go back to our chapters. All right, so let's go back. Let's see our next one. Remove 2 more, you all. So again, please raise your hand. We'll take the first 3 hands for each question. So chapter number 10, looks like it. Number 10, let's see what number question. So 1, 2, or 3. Okay, looks to be like it's number 1 once again. So again, chapter number 10, question number 1. Economic practices. Which traditional occupation involves the crafting of intricate jewelry in Sri Lanka? Pottery making, gemstone cutting, blacksmithing, or carpentry? Again, I'll take the first 3 hands that raise their hand. Pottery making, gemstone cutting, blacksmithing, or carpentry. Let's see, 2 more hands. I see we have Geraldine. Anyone else? Okay, Miss Clement. Take 1 more hand, okay? 1 more hand if you'd like to answer. Geraldine, what do you say?
I say B, gemstone cutting.
Okay. All right. Miss Clement, what do you say?
Gemstone cutting.
Okay. And any? One more hand. Okay. Let's see. Anne, what do you say?
I say gemstone cutting too.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Gemstone cutting. Let's see if we are correct. Let's show our answers. And you all are correct. I know that's right. You all are killing it out here. Traditional occupation in Sri Lanka involving the crafting of intricate jewelry from precious and semi-precious stones to renowned for its gemstone industry like sapphires, rubies, and moonstones. So who knew, right? Amazing, good job, you all. Thank you. And our final question for today, again, we'd love to hear from as many folks, different folks, especially if you haven't answered yet. 1 more chapter. Let's see, chapter number 6. And let's see what question number we'll be answering. Let's see. going to be close. It's going to be question number 2. So again, chapter 6, question number 2. All right, so let's go to chapter 6, family structures. Question number 2. What is the role of the kapua in a traditional Sri Lankan wedding? Is that the bride's father, the groom's father, the wedding officiant, or best man? So A, B, C, or D. What is the role of the kapua in a traditional Sri Lankan wedding? Again, I'll take the first 3 hands. It's an interesting question. Can any takers? And if you just want to throw your wrench into the pit, you can do that as well. Please raise your hand if you would like to answer. Again, it's definitely worth a shot, you know? Ms. Clement, and then what is your answer?
D, the best man.
Okay, let's see. All right. Then we have Ms. Geraldine. What do you say?
I say C, the officiant.
Okay. And last but not least, we have Miss Brenda. What do you say?
Oh, the official. I mean, no, I'll take the bride's father.
Okay, so let's see what it is. So let's go with the last answer. Let's go with A. Let's see if that's right, but we'll see. Let's show our answers. And it is the wedding officiant. So good job, Miss Geraldine. You got it.
Thank you, Journey.
They oversee the marriage ceremony, perform rituals, and lead the couple through various stages of the wedding ceremony. So good job. So we have some great participation today. I'm gonna get our wheel situated. So give me one moment. But again, appreciate you all coming on. And you all killed that information. So we're going to go ahead and do this wheel. Give me 1 second. I'm going to do initials for you all. Again, this is something new. Wanted to try something different with you all, so I really appreciate you all attending. Let's see. Almost finished. So we have different initials for different persons. So I'm going to share my screen, and we'll see who wins one of the rings, Masai jewelry. So let's see who wins today. Good luck. And our winner for today is Geraldine. Good job, Geraldine.
Go ahead, Geraldine.
Yes, thank you so much for participating.
Hey.
That last question may have helped you out today. You won a
the last
Masai
question.
ring.
Yeah.
Good job, Geraldine.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead, Geraldine.
Thank you. And thank you all so much for participating in our travel session today. It was so much fun to present and to check out this new kind of quiz that we just had. So I hope you all enjoyed. And I hope to see you all at 1:30 for our session on Module 4, Settings and Applications on your iPad. Once again, congrats, Geraldine. And I will see you all shortly for Module 4. Have a great rest of your day. And thanks so much for joining.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Very nice
See you all
session.
soon.
Everybody.
Thank you
Hope
so
you
much.
enjoyed
Enjoy
today.
your beautiful.
There's
There's a
Alex.
beautiful day out
Thank
there.
you,
Enjoy
Alex.
it.
It's
No
beautiful, beautiful.
problem.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
See you all
Sick of you,
soon.
Gerald.
All right, Ronald.
Have a good day. See you all
Okay, see you at
soon.
1:30.
See
All
you
right.
all at 1:30.
All righty.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
SIKKA. Sick of you.